I've been looking forward to talking a little bit about today's showcase. Oh, that's right. Absolutely right. It is Flashback Friday. Now, this particular set, I don't know about you guys, but I certainly cannot escape it. Can't run away. No matter how big or small the collection or the lot, it seems there always seems to be one, at least one, somewhere along the way that has to show its wonderful face. What am I talking about? Well, today I am talking about a set that brings me much more sentimental value than anything else. And today I talk about Score 1991-92. Oh, yes. Oh, you guys are probably like, could you have picked anything better, Tim? Really? Now, before I get into the story that comes to mind in my life pertaining to this set, let's talk about it, shall we? Of course, Score, had released 3 different versions of this set. So, of course, there was the American version, which had the purple to white border. And I believe that their set was only 440 cards. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's something like 400 or something like that. And of course, there were 2 different Canadian versions. So there was the English, Canadian English, and Canadian bilingual. And the Canadian were the red to white for the first series, and the second series was blue. I think it was blue to white. And between both series, it was a pretty large set at 660 cards, which was like crazy. I remember the first time I saw the blue border, and I thought it was a whole other set altogether. I literally thought like it was like, I don't know, like the blue, Score blue, you know, like I didn't know it was like the second series when I first saw it. The one of the coolest cards that came out of that, and here's the weirdest part, is the coolest cards that came out of those were the Bobby Orr cards, right? And I didn't even bother to look it up, but I want to say I think there's like 8 of those. I think there's like 8. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to go with 8. I should know this, but I mean, it's been so many years. And those cards were pretty freaking epic, but they were so difficult to get. And the reason, I didn't figure this out for the longest time, the reason why you couldn't find a lot of them, or even if you pulled one, you're trying to find the rest of them, it's because they were only released in certain products. Like, I believe, such and such number was only available in the American packs. And then you had these numbers that were available in the Canadian packs. It's kind of like, what? And it was like, back then, it's like, now when I look back, it's like, I would have never been able to complete that set, ever, as a kid. How? Right? But to me, it's a classic set. And I say classic because, for me, that's around the era that I started. Like, I believe I started collecting a little bit before 1991. And I have so many memories with my friends opening up those packs. I still remember the setting. I still remember so much of those evenings or those days or those weekends opening up those packs with some of my closest friends that I still am friends with today. So it's amazing, and a lot of the photos are just embedded in my head from seeing them so many times that it's just an unforgettable set. And literally, I remember the subsets of the leader cards. I thought they were the coolest thing, and I'm thinking to myself, I remember opening up packs and I was like, oh, it's a special card. Of course, it wasn't technically a special card, but just that having that white background and the player, like I just thought the simplicity of the design, it was so nice. It was just so nice. And I remember thinking to myself, I wish the base cards looked like this, right? It would look so cool. So cool. So it is one of those sets that to me are unforgettable. But as I mentioned, even today, you can still buy full boxes with all the packs intact. You know, of course, the price, as we know, the price has gone up since the 2020 situation. So, you know, but I remember back in the day, you can find one for like $10, you know, maybe even $5 at the expo. But it would always be a fun rip to do, of course. But yeah, that set, as I said again, like, you know, like as I said, it's a real classic set for me. So a lot of memories growing up, opening those packs with my friends and just having a great time. So that is my Flashback Friday for this week.